Hi everybody, welcome to Advent. Today we're going to make Advent tag number 1, which is this beautiful tree here. Stay tuned. Hi everybody and welcome to Advent tag celebration for tag number 1. So we're going to start off in Cricut Design Space and we're going to grab out we're going to start a new project and we're going to grab out a triangle shape. So I'm going to show you two different styles here. One that we're going to use the curve or warp tool, and then we're going to make just a plain one with just triangles. So what we're going to make for our base here is going to be a tree. So I'm just going to look at all these warp things and I'm going to move it to the side and see what it looks like. And to me, all those other ones look like Star Trek. But I think I'm going to do the second one and I'm just going to adjust it so it's not so warpy on the edges, and I kind of want to make it whimsical and look pretty cool. So I'm going to start with that. And then I'm going to grab another shape. I pressed the wrong button. I'm going to grab another triangle and I'm just going to set that off to the side so we can do them both at the same time. So then I'm going to take this shape and I'm going to press the Alt key and duplicate it, and then I'm just going to make it bigger. So I don't want to drag it that way. I want to make it bigger, and my mouse is being weird, and then I'm going to put that under there so it kind of looks like a bigger shape. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and see how I want it to look, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, and I'm just going to make the triangle shape a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to fit it inside the other triangle just so I can make my tree shapes. So what you saw me do there is just weld those two pieces together, and I didn't really like it, so I've undid it, and then I'm making a duplicate of the bottom triangle, and then I'm welding it together. And I'm going to do the same with the other side because I'm going to need to use these shapes again to make the tree bigger. So then I'm going to align those together. I'm going to select those two objects and then I'm going to unite them. It seems like when you're using the warp tool, it's not going to let you use the weld, so we're going to have to use unite. So once that's done, I'm going to take a duplicate of the bottom triangle. After I resize it again, as you can see, my tree shape is coming out really nicely. So I'm just going to adjust the warp on this triangle just a little bit, just to make it less. And then I've duplicated the wrong side. Then I'm going to duplicate the bottom one and then just drag that off to the side. I'm going to select both those shapes and then I'm going to align it horizontally, and then I'm going to grab those two shapes again and then I'm going to unite. So now we've got a nice little tree. So I'm going to do the same with the other tree. I'm just going to arrange the triangle. After I've resized it, I'm going to duplicate it and send it off to the side. I'm going to align it horizontally, and then I'm going to combine and weld. So now I've put that bottom shape in, and I want to make the warp way less, and I want it to come down. I want it just to have a little bit of a curve because this is the bottom of the tree. So I'm just going to align that, arrange that how I like it. I'm going to select both objects, align horizontally, go back to the Combine menu and Unite. And then I'm going to take the other tree, the other triangle, and attach it to the tree. And I'm just going to align it. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm just going to fit the two pieces in together. I'm going to select both, align horizontally, combine, and weld. So we've got two different trees, but both are used using a triangle. And then for the bottom, I'm just going to use a square, and I'm going to just change the dimensions so it looks like a tree trunk. I'm going to arrange those. And I'm going to select Unite and Square from the Layers menu. I'm going to center those horizontally. And then I'm going to duplicate that one square and put it on the other tree. Now for the curly tree, I'm going to select Combined and Unite. And with the one that we're not using, the Cricut Access Warp, we're going to just select both, center horizontally, and then weld. Now that you have your trees made, we need to resize it. So the width is going to be 2.5 inches by 3 inches. And we're going to do the same with the other tree. It's going to be 2.5 wide by 3 inches tall. And that's so we can get the size of tags so they'll fit into our little Advent book that we made a week ago. So once that's done, we're just going to click on Make. We're going to save the project. I'm just going to put it under My Stuff. I'm going to call it Advent Tag Number 1. So then I'm just going to print the curly tree for my own stuff, and I'm not going to print the other tree. And then I'm going to cut it out of a cream colored cardstock. So once that's done and ready, I will meet you over at the demo table. Now that we're here, we have a couple pieces of ephemera from our ephemera packs. You can use any kind of ephemera if you can find a tag or bow or even a tree pattern. Any ephemera is fine. I'm just using the ephemera from our ephemera add-on and from our digital kit subscription for December. So what you see here is the tree. You see the little cardstock out of the tree. You see the bow and you see the tag. I'm also grabbing an X-Acto knife and a gold pen. And I think I'm also going to grab a pair of scissors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just set those two pieces to the side, and I'm going to figure out where I want my little tree to be on this little ephemera tree that I had cut out. Now, you don't have to use an ephemera tree. You can use digital paper for this point. I just wanted to cut my little card out of the tree. Now, you notice that I'm just tracing around the card that we had cut out on the Cricut. If you want to bring the ephemera piece directly into Cricut and then put it on top of your card and then cut it out, you can definitely do that as well. But I wanted to have a bit of a crafty experience, so I'm going to do it this way. So you can just see I'm tracing around the tree, and then I'm going to cut that out. So once I've cut that out, I'm going to glue it on top of my little card shape, And then we're going to ink around the edges as best we can. So once that's done, I'm going to ink around the edges of the bow, and then I'm also going to ink around the edges of the tag that we're going to use for this advent tag. Before we get to the tag, first I'm going to arrange the bow, and then I'm going to sort of measure with the tags to see where I can glue on the side of the bow, because I want that tag to slip in like a little tuck spot. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on that side. Just going to make sure that it comes out and I can get it glued down. And then I'm going to do a little bit of glue underneath the ribbon on some spots there. I'm just going to make sure that I don't get the tag in the glue, because I don't want it to glue all together down. So I'm just carefully applying glue where it needs to go. So the tag should be able to come out, and then I can just press down a little bit more. And once the tag is out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and just cut that little white piece out in the middle there as carefully as I can. I'm just turning the paper. It probably won't turn out the best. Cutting out circles is not the best. I could have probably used a punch tool if I had one, but I don't have a punch tool that is that small. So now that that's all done, I'm just going to ink around the edges. Make sure there's no white showing, and then I'm going to flip it over and write on the back with my gold glitter pen that comes with, that you can get in the Cricut packs. So it's just gold and it's glittery and it's very pretty, and I'm just checking to see if it's working, and I love it. So I'm just going to write the word joy on the back of the tag. And then I decided that I'm going to spruce up some of these ornaments and add a little bit of glitter along the bow, and anything that I think needs a little splash of like a glitter gel pen. And this works perfectly. I love the way it shows up, and I love the way that it glitters. So once that's done, I'm just going to tuck this inside the bow. And we've finished our first tag. So this is our Advent tag number 1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take our little Advent book, open it all up onto the side where we have all the tags, and I'm just going to slip it in sideways into the tag spot. I hope you enjoyed creating this tag with me. I hope you're enjoying your Advent celebration, and you have a wonderful happy holidays. Happy crafting from here from Bette's Makes.